The order from command was simple, but heavy. St. Truiden had to fall. I arrived at the St. Truiden Hassel Depot shortly after our forward elements had secured it. Taking stock of the situation, I looked out at the main road cutting through the sector. Crossing it immediately felt like suicide, so I made a tactical decision. Head south, support the push on the flanking depots, and steer clear of the open asphalt. It was a choice that likely saved my skin, at least for a little while. I moved through the town toward the Hannut depot. Under the bright sky, the streets were eerie, quiet, only meeting one enemy on the way. I managed to slip into the Hannut depot and secure it. But in war, luck is a currency that runs out fast. The moment I stepped out of cover to regroup, the enemy opened up. But we had dug in deep enough. Despite my fall, the men held the depot through the worst of what was to come. That bullet woke me up. We had to guard the ground we'd already bled for. After being patched up and sent back to the Hassel Depot, I figured I'd take a calculated risk, cross that main road, and dig in to defend the point. That was where I met my nemesis. Under that bright sun, with absolutely nowhere to hide, that main road became a meat grinder. Crossing it wasn't just a maneuver, it became a damn mission all on its own. Every time I showed my face, lead filled the air. It was only thanks to Magus 99, who pinned the enemy down with a brutal wall of suppressing fire, that I finally managed to scramble across and get into position.
Yeah, downstairs spawn.
The next few minutes were a blur of chaos. I held the depot by the skin of my teeth, getting mowed down a few times, managing to dish out some bloody revenge of my own before they carried me off again. After getting my teeth kicked in more times than I care to admit, Hassel Depot seemed stable enough without me, so I decided on a tactical relocation. Not a retreat, mind you, just a shift in focus. I pushed out alone to scout the westernmost edge of the sector to see if I could wrestle the Tienen depot from them. I failed miserably. The enemy was waiting. To put some wind back in my sails, I teamed up with a fellow soldier, a real rat of the ruins, to seize a minor point in the city. Naturally, the enemy had left it completely unguarded, thinking it useless. A few minutes later, with the sector secured and my pride intact, I figured a sweep through the southern depots was needed to keep them locked down. Googs had the exact same idea. He'd been holding the line down there, keeping the depot clean of enemy scouts. Slowly, the tide was turning. The map of the city was bleeding our colors. We just needed the main army base and that stubborn Tienen depot to break their backs. Being already positioned in the south, I gritted my teeth and prepared to try again. The moment had arrived. The whistle blew, and we began our assault on the army base. It was absolute butchery. The Tommies had dug in deep. They had the approach covered by a Vickers tank and heavy machine gun nests. But slowly but surely, we chipped away at their armor. We blinded the tanks and knocked out the automated gun emplacements. I pivoted to supply our mortar station. For a while, my entire existence was reduced to a grim cycle. Carry mortar shells up to the line, drop them off, and then throw off my own mortal shell in another desperate attempt to breach that central bunker. Again and again. And again. Eventually, the brass ordered me to the rear for a brief, forced R&R in the countryside. Panic flared up when word reached us that our forward fire base, the very lifeline of our entire assault, was on the verge of being overrun. I rushed back, but by the time I arrived, the threat had fizzled out. It was far too quiet for a war hero like me. I had myself sent straight back to the Hassel Depot. And there it was waiting for me, my old nemesis. I had to cross that damn road again. I pushed south to ensure our rear depots remained secure. While I watched the flanks, a few brave souls made a desperate, concentrated push toward the Truiden depot. With the enemy's attention entirely diverted by that attack, I saw my opening and broke for the army base one last time. To shatter the final, stubborn defense at the base, the fearless Magus 99 did something reckless. He rolled a tank right into the heart of the town and rushed the base head-on. That iron beast gave us the exact cover and the raw courage we needed to finally storm the bunker. On the sprint there, I ran right into an old friend. It was the same machine gunner who had cut me down time after time at the start of the assault. He was in a beautiful position, but this time I took care of him permanently. With that gunner silenced, the last obstacle keeping St. Truiden choked was gone. Only a few minutes later, we overran the army base, and the assault team to the north secured the final depot. St. Truiden was ours. We took a moment to breathe and wondered where they would send us next.